Hey everybody, this is Lynn. It has been a while since I took body measurements, and so I decided to do that today and report on the results and just kind of do an overall video about the changes in my body composition since starting the carnivore diet. Now, if you saw the thumbnail, there was a horrible picture of me, and in fact, seeing this picture is what made me start thinking that I really need to do something because it was just an absolutely terrible picture. This was taken, maybe about 6 weeks or so before I started on the carnivore diet. So this was about April of this year, which is 2023. And I was at a baby shower, and one of the ladies at the baby shower, was taking a lot of pictures and posted on our group. And I saw this picture and I was like, oh my goodness, like, wow, the angle's terrible, first of all. So, I can always hold a camera up here, looking down at my face, and it maybe looks a little bit thinner. But this was like a horrible picture. And to make it worse, which I didn't really put in the thumbnail, but I was sitting on a couch next to a couple of normal-sized women. I looked like I was the two of them put together. There's normal sized person, and then this mammoth person, which was me. And I don't know how many of you have kind of a little bit of body dysmorphia on the side of thinking you're thinner than you really are, because I know we hear about it a lot from people who are thin and think they're fat, but there's the flip side. There's people who are really morbidly obese, but they don't see themselves as obese as they really are. And that's me. And so there's a little bit of a denial there. And for some reason, when you see yourself through the lens of somebody else via a picture, it's just shocking. It's like, is that me? So that's what I experienced. And so that really got me thinking that I need to make some changes, in addition to all the pain that I was in, just the horrible, miserable quality of life. I was really having trouble with walking, balance is terrible, in pain all the time, multiple issues. And if you've watched my videos, you know that I had been on medical leave. I had to retire early from nursing due to mast cell activation syndrome. Being out very ill, very sedentary, I packed on more weight, but I was very obese even beforehand. So this is just a lifelong journey for me, and most of it has been in the wrong direction. So I'm starting to turn things around. So I decided to do body measurements today. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you that, and then I will be back to discuss the results. Hello, I am here to do body measurements today. It's been a while since I've done them, and so I figured today would be a good day. It's October the 24th, so I usually start with a kind of a shot of me. This is the original outfit I was wearing when I did my first body measurements. Max, be quiet. Sorry, my dog's barking. Anyways, this is me today. Still got a lot of weight to lose. Okay, still got my big old rump, still got my belly, but it's shrinking, that's for sure. I got this little pooch here that drives me crazy. I'm looking forward to when that is gone. Actually, here's a weird thing about me. Like, I look down and I can see this pooch. I'm looking forward to the day where I look down and I don't see it anymore. I'll be happy. That'll be a good progress, but it's shrinking. Like, it used to be all the way across, and my sides are starting to, it's really more just in the middle now. I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit of a waist back, which is kind of nice. So that's good. But I'm here by myself today. My husband usually does these measuring videos with me, but he's at work, and I figure I'm just going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do with the arms, but we'll see. So let me grab my little measuring tape, and I crochet. So when I'm bored and I don't have anything to do, I crochet little stuff like this. and it has my measuring tape in it. So, and I'm not going to write anything down right now because I don't want to bore everybody, but I will write it down after I go back and watch the video, and I'll report on the results separately. Okay, so right now bust is 51. All right, waist is 50, and hips 60. All right, let's do thighs. 31. Calves. Let's see, 19. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do arms by myself, but let's just see if I can. Let's see here. All right, looks like arms are 17. So, all right, well, I will do the calculations and I'll come back and report on them. Okay, so you got to see my lovely pooch that I try to hide. Drives me crazy. I'm assuming that pooch is really related to insulin resistance, because that's where you tend to gain weight when you're insulin resistant, is right up at the above your waistline. So I am encouraged that it's shrinking. It just can't shrink fast enough. I don't know, for some reason I can handle like more fat around my hips or butt and thighs, but that one area just drives me crazy. We probably all have areas like that, but that's kind of my one. It just seems like it's so out there. It's like it sticks out and I just can't hide it very well. And I'm very self-conscious about it. You could say that. All right, so I went back and rewatched my video and I was able to go ahead and do the calculations. So my bust measurement was 51 and it started out at 55. So I lost 4 inches on my bust. And I really think that it's probably back fat that's the main culprit. Who knows, but I'm pretty sure it's back fat. I do feel like my little love handles here are shrinking, so that's good. And I know my bra strap is gone from the very, the biggest setting down to the smallest. And I'm going to guess that soon I'm going to need to get new bras, which is a shame because I paid a lot of money for these bras that I have, just like, I think at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to get as much wear out of them as I can until they lose too much support and the girls are hanging down to my waist. Don't want that. Okay, so waist size now is 50. It originally was 55 inches. So I've lost 5 inches on my waist. My hips started out at 65 and now they're 60. So that's another 5 inches. And then my arms started at 19 inches. They're now 17 inches. So that's 2 inches lost. My thighs started at 34 inches. They are now 31. So that's 3 inches. And my calves started at 21. They're now 19, another 2 inches. So that's a total of all the places I measure of 21 inches lost. And my first set of measurements I took on June 3rd of 23. So yeah, so that's pretty darn good as far as inches goes. Now, I had mentioned in a previous video that my husband had sent me an article. I have it here. I printed it out and I'll put a link below. But it's a study that was done and it was published in the Journal of Nutrition. And it's called Partial Replacement of Animal Proteins with Plant Proteins for 12 Weeks Accelerates Bone Turnover Among Healthy Adults, a randomized clinical trial. Now, bone turnover is not good. So what they did was they took this, again, this is only a 12-week trial. So that's shorter than the amount of time I've been on this carnivore diet. They had 107 women and 29 men. They were ranging in age from 20 to 69 years. Their BMI was on average 24.8. But it did range. So, but on average, that's pretty low. So these are healthy people. They weren't morbidly obese people. And what they did was they separated them into 3 categories and fed them different ratios of animal versus plant proteins in their diet. So they had one group that had 70% animal protein and only 30% plant protein. They had a group that was 50-50, and then they had another group that had only 30% animal protein and 70% plants. Hope I said that right. And then they took a look at what it was doing to their bones over that 12-week. And I'm not going to go into all the detail, but basically what they found is that the people with the higher animal protein had a lot better results. The people with even the middle and the lowest level of protein, of course, the lowest level of animal protein did the worst. But they found negative changes in their bone that put them at risk. So that's not good. A little bit, I just kind of underlined a little bit here about, and this is only a couple of the thoughts they had behind it. They were thinking that, the combination of decreased calcium and vitamin D intake and a lower calcium phosphorus ratio, which could be a culprit. This is previously shown to be harmful for bone health. They also said phytic acid, which is abundant in plant protein foods but rarely reported in the food composition databases, can interfere with calcium absorption, contributing to lower calcium bioavailability from the plant protein diets. So this phytic acid actually makes it so that in plants you don't absorb calcium as well. So that's a couple of reasons why they thought that there might have been some negative. And this is a 9-page article, study. So I'm not going to go over all of it, but I wanted to bring this up. And of course, they tout, but they say, but the plant-based diet is so good for your overall health. It's so good for your heart disease and for your colon cancer and diabetes and all these other things. The plants. Well, if you don't know, there's a Carnivore Diet movie that's being made. I'm on the research committee for it. Look up Homestead How and check out Carrie if you don't know him, and see that there are all these things they're saying about plant-based diet, not necessarily 100% accurate. There's so much about the carnivore diet that is so good for all of these health conditions. So anyways, with that said, I'm going to show my results. And I know I discussed these on my weekly weigh-in videos, but this is part of body composition. So I wanted to, again, go over the changes in my body composition from eating only meat and fat. And initially I was eating dairy and eggs. And so dairy and eggs is part of it. It's basically I was eating only animal products. And so it's only been a couple weeks of me cutting out the dairy and the eggs. And I was drinking coffee. I have weaned off of coffee because my gut is not happy with coffee or dairy or eggs. So I started out with my muscle mass at 92.2. My last weigh-in with my body composition scale, my muscle mass was 109. So I've gained 16.8 pounds of muscle. My original bone mass was 5.8. And my most recent bone mass is 7.0. So I have gained 1.2 pounds of bone. So that is very consistent with the results of this 12-week study, that the more animal protein you have, the better it is for your bones. And I've been doing 100% animal-based protein. And so I've gained 1.2 pounds of bone over the 4.5-ish months that I've been doing this. I'm on week 22 right now. So a total of 18 pounds of good tissue between bone and muscle. So I'm noticing I'm noticing changes in my diet. So my scale weight is only down like 40, I forget what it was, like 43 pounds or something as of my last weigh-in. Let me go look and double check here. yeah, 43.6 pounds as far as the scale weight goes. But my actual fat loss is 61.2 pounds. So the difference between that is the muscle and the bone. And so when I look at my current pictures, yes, I have a long ways to go before I'm considered to be not morbidly obese. I mean, my goal right now is to be overweight. And then after that, my goal is to be a healthy weight and not be overweight. Actually, I have to hit that middle goal. I've got to go from morbidly obese to obese. So I guess my goal right now is to be obese. Then my goal is going to be to be overweight. And then hopefully I will get within a normal, healthy body weight. But one little baby step at a time. So right now the goal is to just be obese and no longer be morbidly obese. But when I take a look now at my pictures, yes, I still look bigger than my perception, but my body is changing. I'm starting to get a waist, which I'm very pleased with. When I was a young adult, or late teenager, young adult, I used to take measurements and stuff, and I used to take bust, waist, hips, and it was 36, 26, 36. I don't think I'm ever going to get back to that again. I don't know. I mean, I was a teenager. Women's bodies really change over the years. Now, I could never have kids. My children are adopted, so I did not go through childbirth, so I didn't have that pelvic widening. So who knows? I guess we'll find out as this journey goes on where my measurements end up. Sorry, I'm shaking my computer here. But anyways, I know that inside, this big body is that normal size body with an actual waist. And so hopefully we'll get to see a little more of that waist as time goes on. But I do feel as though each week this diet is doing things to my body that I didn't anticipate. That's all really good news. And I'm going to continue reporting on that, but I wanted to just do this video, let you know how things are going, how my body composition is changing, and encourage you, if you're on the carnivore diet, to continue doing it because it works. And like I've said in my last video, sometimes it seems like it just takes on a mind of its own through the stress that I've been through whatever life event has come along. I've been able to continue to lose weight because there's so little thinking in my mind that goes into, I don't have to do meal planning. I just grab some meat. I can take my frozen meat as long as I vacuum sealed it and I put it in my sous vide and I just turn it on and it's no brainer. Just leave it. And when I'm ready for it, I just put it in my air fryer with some beef tallow and it comes out beautifully. That is easy. I am not a meal planner. I can cook well, but I don't really enjoy cooking. I never have. And with my mast cell activation syndrome, I have to be really careful around too much heat because heat is a trigger for me. So this is easy, ideal, no problem. And a lot of grab and go stuff is stuff that I've already prepared the day before. And so no problem. So if you're, if you're struggling at all, just kind of push through it. And I've always talked about how it's really it's a mental thing. And you have to prepare yourself for the struggles. You have to know that they're coming and just be mentally prepared and have a plan for what you're going to do for when those struggles come and when you feel like, eating something off the, that's not carnivore, or if you, or if you are eating some non-carnivore stuff, as long as, you're not eating sugar, refined carbohydrates, all the really unhealthy stuff. If you're still losing weight, keep going on. I mean, I did keto for a couple of years. Now I couldn't continue because I ended up craving a lot of things that I shouldn't have. But if you're doing well and you are having some carbohydrates, continue on. And if you are having cravings while you're doing carbohydrates, it may be an indication that you need to cut out the carbs. I had to do that. And it's really a psychological battle, and it's just a decision that you have to make, that you're not going to allow yourself to feel deprived. And feeling deprived when it comes to eliminating things from your diet, to me is an indication that I've put too much emphasis on with my emotional and mental health on food. And there's so many other things in life that are really a blessing and things that will help you feel like you're not deprived, that you don't have to rely on food to give you that feeling of satisfaction. So search for those things in your life because they're there, and you will be able to find that you can feel satisfied. And if you feel like you're, still struggling, increase your fat. That's the big thing. Fat is very satiating. So when I have enough fat, I don't have any issues with being hungry and eating anything else. So keep plugging away, hang in there. You can do it. And, hopefully you'll be able to see those body composition changes as well. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day and having a wonderful October. It's starting to get cool here in the Pacific Northwest. Leaves are dropping from the trees. I've got my fire. I don't know if you can even see it. I don't think you can see it today, but I got my fireplace on. And, it's a little overcast, not raining. That's good. But it is a little bit chilly, which I actually love the cool weather. So anyways, hope wherever you are, you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.